Good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories with Bedtime Cocktails. Welcome. Tonight I will be reviewing chapter 15 of Caught Up Loving a Trill 1 4. You can get this on MichelleElaineBooks.com. I will have the book information at the end of this video down below. Okay, so it is interesting. Oh, I'm telling you, chapter 15. Chapter 15. Let me tell you, that joint is interesting. It's kind of like an in between chapter, kind of like leading up to. It's going it's going to be interesting. I have my thoughts on chapter 15. But before I get into my commentation of chapter 15, we got to start with a bedtime cocktail. Tonight is going to be bourbon whiskey. Now, at this point, y'all should know that bourbon whiskey is my jam. Okay? It is rum, tequila, bourbon whiskey. Chai. I probably would love scotch if I could ever afford that joint. Whew. Anyway, so let's get into it. We're going to do an old fashioned, and this time we're going to garnish it with an orange peel, like most old fashions that I have seen. Now it's going to be a little dark because I have a dark simple syrup made from brown sugar, a dark brown sugar, so it's going to be dark. And we're going to put it in this cool glass. Oh, child, yes, trust me, it's going to be good. So let's get into this bedtime cocktail. So, as you know, old fashioned is whiskey, simple syrup, bitter, and then just a squeeze of orange. So we're gonna get into it. So first, we're gonna start with. I am going to do 2 shots. Oh, I didn't tell you. The spirit of tonight is Jim Beam, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Now, I know. Jim Beam is name brand. What are you doing, Akara? You have a name brand whiskey. I really try to look for a name brand, an off name brand, a whiskey or any type of spirit that everybody doesn't know. You know, everybody know Jim Beam. Everybody know Jack Daniel. Everybody know Crown Royal, which is also a whiskey. But tonight I went out on a limb and just got me some Jim Beam. Now, if you watch my bedtime stories that I did while I was on vacation, I did get some. Oh, was that Evan Williams? It was Evan Williams. Was it Jim Beam? Y'all gonna have to go back to episode. What was that? Episode 11, 12. I don't remember. But go back because I did get me a bottle. It might have been Evan Williams, but I don't think I did. I think it was Jim Beam rye whiskey. Yeah, uh-huh. No, it wasn't Jim Beam. It wasn't Jim Beam. It was something else, and I can't think of it. We'll talk about that later. So, but tonight we're doing Jim Beam. It was $17.17 after taxes. And this one actually came in a gift box with a glass. But child, Jim Beam ain't sponsoring this. And it was a Atlanta glass. And I love Atlanta. But this is according to a car, honey. All right. So let's get into it. So what we're going to do is, now I've already tasted Jim Beam. I'm not going to taste it for you. I already had me it neat. I also, before I get into doing the old fashioned, I wanted to correct myself from the on the last video where I did, and it hasn't been posted yet, but it should be posted and premiering for Monday evening review. I mean viewing on YouTube. I said that what I had for that video was whiskey neat, when in actuality it was whiskey straight up because it was just whiskey and ice with some cherries in it. But tonight, old fashioned again. That's right, but this time with Jim Beam and orange slice. So let's get into it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a shot. I'm gonna do 2 jiggers of Jim Beam. You said, girl, you're doing 2? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Deal with it. So we're gonna put Jim right over there. He'll be fine. Okay, and I'm going to do 1 jigger of this dark simple syrup that I made. Ooh, come on. Squeeze on out now. Squeeze on out. There we go. See, like I made it dark skin. And you know, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Well, darker the syrup, the sweeter the cocktail. Ow! Bow, 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 bow. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick stir just to kind of mix up the simple syrup and the whiskey. Oh, oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Now we're going to get us a whiskey ice. We're going to just drop that on in there. Mm-hmm. A whiskey ice is basically 1 big cube of ice. And I just got these little containers from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. It was about like 10 in a package. Put some ice, put in the refrigerator. Hello. And we're going to do a dash, about 2, 3 dashes. Let me make sure I shake it up. Mix it up well. 1, 2, 3 of Angostura bitters, yellow cap. And we're going to we're just going to mix up this whiskey ice and just get it chilled. I'm just doing it's a little more rough. Now, as I've learned that you shouldn't, it's all about risk. It's not, you shouldn't be stirring it like a cauldron. Okay, just, there you go. Just, bow, 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 bow. Okay, just chill it off. Oh, that is good. And what we're going to do is take a peeler and peel off a little skin off of this orange. Ooh, I don't like it. How's that? Okay, oh, that's not pretty. We're going to just tear that off so it's not so ugly. And we're going to squeeze it, get that orange, and then stick it right in there. There you go. Booyah. Old fashioned with orange peel. Oh, you know what? 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 That is good. Oh, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. That's that is oh my God. Oh my God. It makes all the difference. That make that orange slice. See, you squeeze, you express it a little bit over it, so it releases the oils of the orange. But you know when you go to drink it, you know what you smell affects what you taste. Oh man. Oh my God. My eyes have been opened. It's almost like when I made the whiskey sour with the egg white. Mm, mm. It's like when you do it right. Cherries is good, but orange is better. I shall never do just the cherries in there. No, I will save that for the Manhattan babies. Oh my God, that made all. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is a good cocktail. Old fashioned with it done right. Call this old fashioned done right. Come on, child. Let's get into this book. Let's get into chapter 15, my babies. Child. So, chapter 15 starts off with Alicia leaving Sharita in her room, stepping out to the hallway, then heading downstairs. She's going to be hanging out. She's been kind of, you know, watching over Sharita, comforting her because she just lost a baby. And let me tell you something, I've never lost a child. I've never miscarried. I've never had that type of situation. But I've heard that it is something to get over, and she's having a hard time getting over it. Sharita is, because it wasn't like she was a month pregnant. She was showing, and she would have been due, but that whole thing took a toll out on Sharita. And Alicia noticed it. She's like, I mean, she went downstairs after leaving Sharita in her room. She goes downstairs to meet up with her brother Champ, and he said, "Okay, I've already fed the kids, and I'll be back in shortly." And Alicia's like, she kind of has small talk with her brother, like, I'm, you know, Sharita's really taking this bad. He said, I know. He said, I mean, she did lose a baby. She has never, according to Champ, he says to Alicia that she's never been this close to being caught up in the business, okay, the street pharmaceuticals, and being this close to being touched by the consequences of being in the street pharmaceutical business. Okay. So this is more than her losing a baby. It was like she could have died that night. You know what I'm saying? Her baby died. She could have died. They could have died. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot to take in. But for Alicia said, it's just strange. I'm used to her being stronger than this. He said, Champ is like, I know. He's like, so they're kind of did that, and it's like, Alicia's like, are you sure what you're doing, what you about to go and get involved in is what you really should be doing? She questioned Dewan's judgment and if this is really going to be something. Like, is this information about Toy still being in the business really panning out to be anything? You sure you want to go and deal with it? Because something don't seem right about what Dewan is doing. He just has been off. And he's like, why would Dewan lie about this? He's like, she was like, I don't know. I don't know. But did you know? So she spilled a little tea, sip, sip. She was like, Champ, did you know that the woman that Dewan is dating right now is used to be Toy's best friend who was sleeping with Tyson who had his side baby. He's like, Champ was like, what? Yo, that's crazy. But that what the but at the same time, I don't know what it has to do with what I'm doing, what we're about to do. What does that have to do with it? First of all, Champ, it has everything to do with it. Okay, you might want to look a little closer. You were right to question if Dewan is really about the game. Watch your back, baby. Watch your back. If he's hanging out with Toy's ex best friend, that means the next person that knew the secrets of their business is her. And why would he want to mess with her? I'm just saying. Yeah, that's a good connection, and that she probably knows some of the stuff, but she didn't know everything. She was the side chick, you know? So he's kind of trusting Dewan. And Alicia, at this point, ever since Champ opened her eyes to he was acting funny, she really is like, her eyes is open to him. And all of a sudden, Champ is going back on like trusting him. I think he just kind of want to just get back at for his baby being gone now. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Think about it. So he leaves the house. He meets the SUV out on the curb, in front of his house. He gets in there, and guess who's in there? Dewan. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dewan's in the car. They slap by. Hey, bruh, how you doing? I said, you sure about this? He's like, yeah. I've confirmed that it is her business. Now, we still don't know, what's going on. Now, then they give a backstory with Dewan. Dewan's thinking in his mind, like, he's always been the strategist and the one who kind of guided this business for Champ to be in this business. You know what I'm saying? He was like, it's not fair that he's not the one running this business. And he's not even close to being half as smart as his father and as strategic as his father and his uncle. It was him. He got the Eddie Kane. He got the David Ruffin big head at this point. He's like, he's not. He wants recognition for being the rudder that turns this boat called street pharmaceutical business. And he's tired of not getting recognized and not being valued. Okay, he's tired of his hard work, of strategizing everything and what he's doing, the business, only for Champ and his siblings, Alicia and Jarius. I'm sorry, I'm about to call him Julian. Jarius getting the recognition for being these hot shop drug dealers. Without him, he feels like David Ruffin said in temptation ain't nothing without David Ruffin. Well, that's the way Dewan feels. Okay, Champ's business ain't nothing without David Ruffin. Okay, y'all ain't nothing. Okay, he's kind of looking side eye at Champ, Jarius, and Alicia's like without him they would be lost. That's the way he feels, and he wants to be valued. Child, let me to side note. Side note. I feel him. I feel him, but I also understand when you start getting a big head thinking that you are better than the group and not recognizing for yourself that you're valuable, that you're worth it. Available on, according to Akara, teesprees.com. Okay. Or you'll find it in the description on where you can find this t-shirt. Okay. that he's worth it. He's wanting validation from everybody else. And he doesn't recognize that he's very much valuable. I know how he feels. But that's not even a slippery slope. Pride comes before a fall every single time. Yes, David Ruffin was great, but he was better with the group. Yeah, Eddie Kane was great, but he was better with the group. Okay? He was better with the group. Y'all worked together. Y'all worked together to make things great. And if no one's giving you recognition, you toast to yourself. Fuck them. Fuck them. You have to stay humble and recognize they might not give me my kudos, but they will. Or one day they will. And if they don't, well, I hope it's before I die. Okay, so moving on. So they're riding along, going towards their destination. So basically, they're going towards their destination. So and there was a pretty much quiet ride. Basically, um, Champ said the only reason he was going along is to make sure they don't fuck anything up. Okay, let's see what you're talking about. He's not there to do anything. He's just there to find out, just make sure things go right. Let's see what you're talking about. Let's see if what you're saying is is going to pan out. Is this Miss Toy Ford still in the business and running shit? Okay, so they're heading to their destination. They're almost there, and he texts. Dewan texts, you know, he says at 10:48, right before they get there, we good? Question mark. Now, first of all, he gets a response back and it says Noah, not unknown caller. Like when Noah texted him about the fire at the warehouse for Champ, that was the one. But Dum Dum, I don't know if this is a mistake by the author or she knew we now know that Dewan and Noah are in cahoots. So it just shows that Dewan is in it, but I'm gonna tell you why that it's showing that Dewan is not as smart as he thinks he is. Because he has Noah in his phone. And the response says Noah at 10:50, yeah, coast is clear. Light that shit up. Light that bitch up. Okay. One that implies that they plan on either gunfiring, tearing it up, or letting it on fire. And so Dewan, he texts them. He's making sure, he's kind of making sure that no one's seeing him text and who it is. So once he texts, he turned his phone over. He did one of these numbers. He did one of these numbers. He's like doo, 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 and he laid his face down so no one could see, especially Champ, because they're in the back seat together, who he's texting and who may respond. And when he felt his phone vibrate, then he was like, and he put that phone down. Let me tell you something. Another side note: anybody puts their phone down, face down, they don't want you knowing who's calling them or texting them. Okay? It is a privacy situation. So, like, if you are on a podcast or on a video like me, you shouldn't have your phone up like that. Because if someone texts you, it's going to light up. And I'm going to tell you, somebody is going to magnify it and find out who was on that phone. So turn it over. Okay? If your man is doing it at dinner time, you should be suspicious. I mean, especially, or your husband, you should be suspicious. Okay? And y'all not on, that is a good daggone cocktail. Goddamn. Anyway, so they pull up and Dewan quickly glances and see, okay, at Champ to see if he saw who he was texting. Okay. And he starts kind of telling him the whole thing. He said, we're going to quickly, do this and that and blah, blah, blah. The coast is clear. We just going to go in and check it out. He was telling him what he knew or what he had heard was that Toy had product dropped off at this location in the past. And we still don't know where where their product is at this time, but it may be here because she's used this place as a drop off spot. So we're gonna go in there and check it out. Mm-hmm. So it's like, so what we gonna do is, and Champ is like, pause, I ain't doing nothing. Like I told you when I get in the car, I'm not here to do a damn thing. I'm here to make sure you ain't fucking up. Okay? That's all I'm here for. Observation. Do 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 do. That's what he's for. That's why he here. Okay? Not to do anything. I'm not doing a goddamn thing. I'm not getting out this truck. So Dewan was like, oh, okay. Dewan is a little slow. I think he has a very intoxicated vision of himself. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's smarter than he is. And you can't figure that out now, dude. You can't figure that out. Noah ain't smart either. Because he haven't figured out that they are icing him out. Like he's not knowing any of the information. Like, dog, you ain't got shit. You are on the outs. And guess what? They're thinking that you might be the leak. So they're not telling you shit. Same thing, Dewan. Like, dude, he's going with you to make sure you ain't fucking up. Not because he trusts you. He's going to make sure he's watching you, B. If these were real people and they were listening to this right now, I was like, yo, hey, dum dum. Okay? He's watching you. What you need to do is nothing right now. Okay? What you doing, you getting a big head. You think they don't value you. You about to do something stupid. Okay? I'm telling you. They side-eyeing you, nigga. They side-eyeing you. But okay, so he gets out the car. Him and the other shooters, they brought guns, even though they knew no one was there, just in case. That was insurance, just in case ish happened. So they get out of the truck. They go in. They pretty much ransack the place, looking for drugs or money or something to say that this is a laundering business. This is the place. This is the trap. This is their warehouse. This is where they're keeping their product, and they find nothing. Okay? They found nothing. I'm sorry, but they found nothing. They didn't find a goddamn thing. He said, well, I guess it ain't being done out of here. They have no proof that Toy is still in the business. Champ, look, nigga, they ain't find a goddamn thing in there. But what they did instead is said, it's not a place it's not where they have their business. Okay, this is not the spot. But we're going to make sure this is not an option never again. So what they do, the roof, the roof. The roof is on fire. We don't need the water. Let the motherfucker burn. 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 Yes. They burned that shit down. They burned that Mississippi burning. Atlanta burning, flames lit. It was lit on fire. Okay. Okay. So this is really good. Okay. This is really good. Okay. So they set it on fire. And well, Dewan and Champ didn't set it on fire. Their boy set it on fire. Okay, child. So they left before the boys did what they had to do. The homies. So they left, and he gets back into the truck, and he's like, "So what you find? Nothing, huh? Nope, not a goddamn thing. I ain't find nothing. But what we gonna do is make sure this is never gonna be an option for them to do it again." They ride off into the sunset. It's like, okay, well, not even the sunset. They ride off into the dark, back to wherever they were going. Okay, if I was Champ, I was like, fucked up. This isn't a fuck up. They didn't fuck up, but it also ended with no information for sure about whether Toy is still running the business. Uh, I be looking at the one real. My eye, side eye would turn on the straight eye. It's like, the one's gonna die. That's my prediction. The one's gonna die. The one is gonna die. Noah's gonna die. And if Champ ain't careful, he gonna die too. But moving on. So that's the end of the scene. Them leaving. They're leaving the scene with Champ thinking about what his friend with the GBI says. Like, you know, that he was like, don't. He urged him not to keep quiet. Alicia, his sisters, urged him to not do anything. But now Champ is ready to make a move. Now he's ready to fuck a nigga up. I mean, there's no other way. And his wife has come home. She's still not dealing with everything what happened. She's not the same right now. He has calmed down. Well, he ain't calmed down. He's now had time to bereave the loss of his potential, his unborn child, and he's ready to strike back. The Empire strike back. But you know, his sister and his DEA friend, I mean his GBI friend is like, you need to keep quiet. You just kind of have to play it cool, man, my brother. Play it cool because you about to make an emotional decision, and he is, and that's what's going to fuck him up. That is what is going to fuck up Champ. Is this emotional decision? Okay. Also, in the beginning of this chapter, also it was said that Champ he's emotional, like he's good, but the problem with him is that he makes emotional decisions, and it gets him in a situation where he makes bad decisions in the midst of his emotions, and we could tell that. Now, it kind of like Tyson. Tyson was the same way. He just was able to keep his wife in oblivion of what's going on. But if she paid any daggone attention, she would have known he was in there. Tyson told her that. But, you know, he was emotional too. But he was good at least keeping shit on the low and not letting his wife get in touch by any of this. But moving on until he was put in jail. hmm I keep sipping on this old fashioned because it's fucking good. I look. I haven't made a good. I mean, this cocktail is one of the best fucking cocktails I've made. I might have to pause to go and get me some more ice and make another one on, child. Then even moving on. Let's go. So that ends the chapter. Them leaving and their boys setting it on fire. And scene. Oh, that wasn't smooth at all. I was trying to find my remote so I could like, that would be a perfect place. But I haven't finished this, and I might be able to admit I might be able to finish this, get to the end of this review without having to mix me another one before. I don't know. I fucking this was a good orange peel. Okay? Orange peel. Anyway, scene that ends that scene. Going on to the next scene. Ring, ring. I don't have no phone call. Do I have no ringing, no ringing, no ring, ring. I was seeing if I had any sounds that would appear to. I don't have a phone call ring, a ring, ring. Toy is woken up by a loud ring of her cell phone or her phone. Child, we are in 2022. We know it ain't her fucking home phone. It's her cell phone, bitch. Okay? She wakes to the loud ringing of her phone. She's half asleep. She's like, hello? She's like, hello? Hello, ma'am. Is this Miss Toya Ford? And she says, yeah. What's the formal greeting made her sit up in her bed like, yes, Toy Ford. Miss Ford, this is Detective so and so. This with the Atlanta PD. I'm here with Atlanta Fire Department, and I'm calling you to inform you that your business, Sweet Cakes Bakery, is lit on fire. That is, and she's like, she woke up. You talking about? See who's this paging me and why? This is Pop from the barber shop. You know what I'm saying? You talking about wiping the coals from her eyes. She's like, well, yeah. Uh-huh. Fire department, yeah. Your place is lit on fire. Okay. And he's like, you think that you can he said, yes. I'll be there as soon as I can. So she gets up, she pulls the covers off her bed. The first call she calls her sisters to see if she can drop off the kids on the way to, because she's having an emergency. Okay, the second call she called was Zeus because she knows, especially with her being pregnant, she knows that if she goes to that by herself, that she's going to hear it from not only Zeus, but from Saint. For sure, for Saint. And Saint gonna know. Because he is that nigga right now. He's the HNIC, okay? Head nigga in charge, okay? He's the head. He is what do they call it in Spanish? I can't remember it right now. But he is the head HNIC right now. So he gonna find out if she went somewhere, especially she pregnant with his baby and he know it. Let me tell you something. He got somebody spying on her right now. Not now, but right now. So she knows that, especially with her pregnant, it ain't going to even fly with her going to this situation by herself. Okay? She knows enough to know you're not going to go there by yourself. And I'll be honest with you. If I had me a business and I get a call from police that said that my business was vandalized or whatever, I'm going to call the man in my life at that time. For me, it would be my son. Yeah, God's willing, he'll pick up. But if it would be my son, he's the next head dude in my life. You know what I'm saying? That could be there for me. The second one is my living father. So yeah, you need to call one of them to accompany you to this situation. So she calls Zeus, and he meets her, picks her up, they drop the girls off at her sister's, and they head to the scene, and she's just flabbergasted at what's going on. She's like, fuck, why my business? This is her most lucrative legal business. This is her baby. This is her, next to her children is her, is this bakery. This is her love. This is her passion. And it's to see it in flames. She is speechless, actually. She doesn't say anything. She's just a whole lot of signs. And, Zeus he's there, a supportive big brother, there for her, and he's going to find out information, and they're telling her that this was not an accident. Someone set this shit on fire. If you think you know somebody, here's my card. You know, but to her, I'm pretty sure a lot of this is just flashing before her eyes. But she's doing this. She's just, I can't believe it. She's watching her baby go up in flames. It's like seeing your child die. You know what I'm saying? No matter how old your child is, it's like seeing them die. And to see someone, and to find out they're dying because of some bastard. Let me tell you something. I've been close to that. Let me tell you. All I can say is whoever did it, and if you happen to, this passes your thing, trust me, you already know. Just you, glasses off. Motherfucker who did that to my son, be thankful that I'm a saved individual. Because if I was even an inkling gangster, and I am an inkling gangster, but I've been behind bars and it's not my thing, you better be lucky. You better be lucky. Thank God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, or whoever you worship. Because if my son would have died in that hospital because of some shit you did, I'm just saying, my son dies, I have nothing else to live for. That's my son. You understand me? You don't have to worry about his friend. You hear me? Do you understand me? If my son would have died in that fucking hospital because you was a punk and you decided to stab him, do you understand me? I'd have taken that. Jeez, yes, I did it. I did it. I did it. Let me tell you something. The only reason I am not more ruthless than I could be is because of Jesus in my life. And my son is still living. I'll be doing this behind bars. I'll be like Petey Green, be doing a good morning prison cells, whatever. Because I'm going to have favor in the jail just like Joseph. Okay? Or I might get away with it like Moses and then come back to free my people. Okay? Now, moving on. So, anyway, I took that break. I snapped for a little bit, blaming on the alcohol. So, moving on. So, she's so flabbergasted looking at this whole thing. She can't believe this is going on. It feels like a dream and not a, it feels like a nightmare, not a dream, a nightmare. So much so that she didn't recognize two men walking over to her until they got to her side. And guess who the F decided to show up on the scene? That no good ninja, secret agent or whatever the hell his name was. Her girlfriend's ex. What's his name? I want to say Cooney, but I think it's Corey, who you tried to use his sister, her Atoya's sister, Katrina, to find out information about her. But her sister ain't stupid. She kicked his ass to the curb. And Toy ain't never liked Corey. She ain't never liked Corey. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I think she should have treated him nicely. He would have never figured out. I've been making him pies and cakes and all kinds of stuff. How you doing? And as soon as he leaves, no good nigga. What he don't know is I put some Ducalax in his goddamn sweet potato pie. He's gonna be on the toilet all night long. And she's like, what the fuck you want? She ain't saying it like that. But basically, what the fuck you want? Well, it's not me, girl. I said, you still feeling some type of way? Let me tell you something about people. You know what? You know what? I'm going to say it to the script. Let me say in this book, because this ain't about me. He said, you still on that thing, girl. He's like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? That's basically how she feels about it. Man, he's being just being a little asshole. You know what I'm saying? He said, but it's not me asking the question. My friend, Akeem. We know who Akeem is. That's Champ's friend, right? Mm-hmm. Comes in talking about, well, we have some questions because do you remember me? She looked at him. She's like, oh, I remember your ass. After my husband passed. But he said, yeah. And he wasn't sure. He didn't remember he did. He was the one that questioned her. Okay, after Tyson had died. Well, he said, well, we've looked at your phone records and it just seems like your alligator, your not alligator, your alibi doesn't match because it seems like you were the last person that saw him alive. She was like, duh, dumbass. We have children. I'm sure I was probably the last person you saw alive because we have fucking kids. And so she looks over to like where Zeus was over there, and he sees her. They make contact, so he heads back over there because he says like, look, let me get over there before this bitch sit up there and do something that she'll regret. And he comes over there, and it's like they kind of when Zeus came over there, and I can imagine he's some big dude. He look intimidating, Zeus really he's the cleanup guy, but I can imagine he's some big buff dude that just looks intimidating. He's probably sweet as a teddy bear. Matter of fact, he is for the ones he loves. He's not the shooter. He is not the assassin at all. He's just the one that comes clean up after the assassin. He's the cleanup dude. Okay. But anyway, moving on. So he comes over there and she's like whatever, da 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 da. And it's like they kind of move. It's like, well, ma'am, if anything comes up, let me know. She's like, fuck you. Okay, get out of my face. You know what I'm saying? And then her and Zeus heads back to the truck. This is crazy. But then, but wait, let's rewind. Before Mr. Corey leaves, he notices her belly is a little round. Mm-hmm. And he looks her up and down. Mm. Looks like you moving on to that new boyfriend, his work. Now she ain't thinking about covering up herself. She's getting out of bed. Her baby is on fire. Okay. And then she covers up herself. She's like, whatever, bitch. And Zeus is standing there and he looks at her like, and then he looks at her like, does he know? Yeah, he knows. That's the reason why he was in town last week. Now, of course, Corey is left on. He said, okay, okay. We had a doctor's appointment. We had a doctor's appointment. Oh, child. Oh, child. Oh, child. I don't know what's going to happen the next one, but let's move on. So Zeus, he understands because of their relationship. He knows that this is Saint's baby. He said he knows. Yes, he knows. He's here. He said, well, let's get you on out of here. This is the last place you need to be with all this smoke and chemicals and stuff. Let's get you on out of here. And they head home. And that's the end of chapter 15. Let me tell you something. Champ don't know what the fuck he dealing with. He's emotional. Saint is emotional too. But he's a whole lot more dangerous than Champ. He better not. And the thing is, he said, well, we're going to have to tell him what happened tonight. And if you don't tell him, I'm going to tell him. Zeus told her straight up, I'm going to tell him if you don't. So you better. What I say, you better. Because if you don't, I am. So as she's driving off, she has her phone in hand, knowing what she needs to do. Now, after I done told that the whole thing, put it down, whatever, know that this is a dead phone. Okay, I ain't making no calls off of this. She's sitting in the truck knowing she needs to call them. And she's also knowing that she calls them and tell them that someone set flames to her business. Saint is coming back in town. Saint is either going to come back in town or insist on her going to Antonio, Texas, and staying there. Her and her girls need to come to Antonio and stay there, or he's going to come there to Atlanta. He better. All I can say is Champ better pray that the choice is, and Toya is going to resist moving her girls from Atlanta. I'm gonna tell you for a fact she's gonna resist because having some type of sense of normalcy for her girls is going to be most important. You understand? Toy needs to stop fooling herself and realize that she's a part of the game. Period. You was in love with the trill one, my bitch. You was in love with the trill one. Now I thought maybe she was a trill one. No, my nigga, Saint, my love. He's the motherfucking trill. Now I understand why when I interviewed the author of this book and someone chimed in and said that Saint was the trill one, he sure enough is. He is the trill one. And he will murder all of Atlanta if anybody mess with Toy. Okay? So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I had gotten a glimpse, just a peekaboo of the ending of this, and oh no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We're almost there. We're at chapter 15. We got 3 more chapters and an epilogue to go. So, woo-wee. I don't know. I don't know. The question now is Champ going to really realize what Dewan is really involved in? What is he doing? Will Saint need to come back in town, protect his woman and his unborn baby and his stepdaughters? Because we know they're going to get together. They've been trying to resist. They've been trying to resist, but the truth is there. That's his woman. That's his wife. Will Champ have to unalive his boy Dewan and apologize to, I don't know. This is the streets. Will they don't apologize. The street dudes ain't gonna apologize for Ish, but they would say, you know what? All is even. Are they gonna make it even when he realizes that Dewan is coming for his neck? Protect your neck, champ. Protect your neck. Okay. And is Noah gonna die because he's trying to rule Ish? Keon isn't a good leader, by the way. He's not. He's not. He's not a good leader. I feel him because I'm a leader, but I'm at the stage in my life where I understand I don't want to take over. I'm not trying to outshine nobody. But I be knowing shit. Okay? I be knowing stuff. And I just want to be the auntie to kind of let you know that, no, this is what you want to do. Let me tell you some things. That's why I have my podcast. That's why I have my morning chats and my bedtime stories and all these things. I'm telling you what I know. I be dropping jewels. Okay? But they might not be juicy. They just be lumps of coal right now. But wait for it. Then you'll understand what mother was telling you. But anyway, let me get off this thing. I have finished my cocktail. Come back next week for chapter 16 of Caught Up Loving a Trill One. Again, I will put where you can get the book series, book Caught Up Loving Trill One, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get them all on Michelle Lane. It will be right here, right there. It's going to say like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a kin, whatever. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and then right under there, it's going to tell you where you can get this book, all the whole series. You can't just get Caught Up Loving a Trill One 4. You need to get Caught Up Loving a Trill One 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for you to understand where this comes from. Okay, but let me get off of here. I am a little tipsy. I'm gonna sleep well tonight. Hello. Anyway, bye y'all. Get out from out of here. Bye.